Oh, shoot, we're starting?
Yeah.
But I wasn't finished seasoning my pixel yet. Hey everyone, I'm Knute, the media buyer here at ClickBank, and in this video, we're getting ready to spice up your ad game a little bit, and we're gonna be talking about the things that you should not do if you want to have better chances of succeeding at affiliate marketing through media buying. So let's go ahead and get started with number one. All right, so the first thing I would do if I wanted to make sure I do not succeed as an affiliate marketer through media buying is expect an immediate sale. So if I were just starting off, I would run my ads, get them started, get my creative, get my landing page out there and turn those ads on and then expect a sale within a day or two. And as soon as I didn't see that sale come through, I would then turn off my ads, turn everything off, shut everything down and say it doesn't work. Well, that's just not the case. A lot of times when you just start out your ad campaign, you really don't have much of the picture painted yet. You just have like one little tiny piece. And so it's really, really difficult to, for instance, know how to troubleshoot your ad campaigns or understanding what the weakest link in that is. And so what I would do is I would look at that first 48, 72 hours, whatever the case might be after publishing my ad campaign as really just the start, just really the start of understanding how my ad creatives are doing or how my ads are performing, how my landing page is performing, and really just kind of starting to get the picture painted a little bit there. But I understand that, hey, this is something that takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience to understand how things are coming together and forming to build a really good ad campaign. So again, just be patient. That is the biggest thing that I would say is important. All right, so the second thing I would do is focus on irrelevant details. I would make sure that every time I'm launching my ad campaign or even through my ad campaign, it's running, it's spending daily, I would make sure that I'm focusing on stuff that doesn't really matter, such as having maybe 2 less clicks reported in Facebook ads versus what maybe my accelerator stats show, or maybe 1 sale is reported here and not there. There's a lot of different things that can happen there, and sometimes when you're dealing with just not a whole lot of data at the start, things kind of can get delayed, things maybe not tracking perfectly, but that's okay sometimes to start out with, because the truth of the matter is sometimes with different campaigns, I make sure that I set it up as best as I can, of course, just to get the best solid start on things, but I don't stress over every little nitty-gritty detail when it comes to, hey, maybe there's a missing click or two. That's totally normal. There's sometimes some things that are just going to maybe not talk one-to-one as far as from what ClickBank might show, data shows on there, or Accelerator might show, and then what Facebook might show. They all might have slightly different versions of the story, but the goal is to sort of zoom out, and what I would do is zoom out, understand the bigger picture, understand what they're all sort of telling you, and just try not to get too concerned or too wrapped up with maybe is my pixel working or not, or kind of frantically, just kind of bouncing between those different tracking issues sometimes. So again, do your best to make sure you have a proper setup, but beyond that, don't fret too much about it if things aren't 100% perfect. All right, so the third thing I would do is I would confuse my success with luck. When I got a sale, I would say I'm off to the races and I'm ready to scale this thing to the moon and I am good to go because, hey, I just got a sale and I'm set, right?
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
That's not exactly the case. It's important right now to really stay humble. If you have gotten a sale or 2 or 3, maybe even doesn't, whatever the case might be, I would just stay humble throughout the process, because the thing is, when you're launching ads, it's very much more like a door-to-door salesman, right? You don't know exactly where you are in that process. And so you might go to your first house being a door-to-door salesman and you might get a sale right there. But let's say it actually takes every 100 doors you go to sell 1 unit. So if you just got to that first door and you sold right then, you have to go through another 99 houses to actually sell a whole nother unit. And so that's where the same thing applies to your ads. You sometimes don't know where you are in that process. You could have gotten lucky right at the start, and now things feel weird because you have to go through a while, maybe multiple days, maybe more ad spend, whatever the case might be, in order to get that next sale. And so that's why it's important to stay humble, because you haven't formed that pattern yet. You don't understand what the pattern is like going forward. Make sure that you're going off of what the data in your ads manager and what the ClickBank data is showing you, and not just what you're feeling in the moment. All right, so the fourth thing that I would do is I would avoid testing. I would never test. I would throw up my first ad on there, just 1 creative, 1 copy, 1 primary text, whatever the case might be. If this is on YouTube, you might have different headlines. If it's on Facebook, Facebook, you have multiple headlines and primary text, all sorts of stuff there. I would just not test any of those. I would also only have one ad creative, so one video or one picture. I wouldn't test any other ad placements. I wouldn't test anything. I would just throw that up there and say that's good. I would also, on the landing page side of things, never make any optimizations, maybe never ever make any tests there. I would just keep it the same and just keep running traffic there and wishing for a sale to convert and basically never even trying to improve those. It's really important. What I would say to make sure that you're doing is looking at what the data, again, what the data is showing you there, and then just making incremental improvements, because the real fact of the matter is that it's those 1% or 2% wins over time that will eventually really catch up and help you a lot. It's not about, hey, what's the silver bullet, or is this landing page gonna work, or is this ad creative gonna work? Just go into those ad creatives and keep testing, because you really never know which one is going to work the best. Launch as many as you can, test as many as you can, and keep iterating, keep learning off of the previous ones that you ran, see what you can do better, ship those, get those in the ads manager, get those onto your landing page, and keep going. So again, do that and you'll be off to the races, because testing always wins. You'll be able to understand much more what the data is telling you and be able to improve over time. All right, so the fifth thing that I would do is I would always be anxious and nervous about my ad campaigns. This would primarily be because I'm actively spending my own money, my own hard-earned money on my ad campaigns. And obviously we wanna see a ROI on that. We wanna see a profit churn on that. But the problem is that oftentimes when you just start a new ad campaign, and even in the process of optimizing something, you're really just buying data. You know, that first $100, that first $500, a lot of times you're just buying data, and that goes for any new ad campaign there. And so it's really important that you don't get super nervous about things, because they do have a process here. What happens is sometimes people treat this like gambling, where they just spend $500 and they expect to get sales because they're feeling good that day or something like that. Again, the goal here is not to do that at all. You don't want to gamble on your ads. That really just will increase your chances of feeling nervous or anxious about your campaign, and a lot of things just not maybe going your way. When you're spending on your ad campaigns, you want to be very cautious with it. You don't want to just ramp it up when you're feeling good or turn it off as soon as you're not feeling good about it. The goal here is to be cautious and smooth with what you're spending, and not to make changes too quickly. That will really help you not to be too nervous or too anxious about your campaigns. All right, so the sixth thing that I would do is I would put in no effort at all. I would put in very, very little effort. I would do the bare minimum on everything. The reality is that as someone who's gonna be media buying, you wanna continue to master the skill of creating compelling copy, compelling creatives, and continue to test really well. And this is all a lot of work. This isn't something that someone learns or just picks up and is given to them. It's actually something that just continues to compound as you continue to media buy and as you continue to put in the work as a media buyer. All right, so the seventh thing that I would do is I would have no drive to continue learning. I would just say, hey, I'm not gonna learn anymore. I've already taken that course, or I've already watched that YouTube video, or I've seen my favorite TikTok, or whatever the case might be, and that I know everything about media buying and just go right from there. That is not the case at all. The fact of the matter is that you want to immerse yourself with as much knowledge as possible. You want to understand what mistakes people made before you, what their learnings were, and then go from there. Now, one thing about that, it is important that you follow reliable sources of information, places that have credibility, like here at ClickBank. Go ahead and subscribe. But here at ClickBank, we do have a lot of educational content, and I definitely recommend you check it out. We also have podcasts like Affiliated, so go ahead and check that out too. But the reality is, any learning material, whether it be a podcast, whether it be YouTube videos, whether it be courses, is often great as long as it's credible, like I said. Just go ahead and immerse yourself in this, because you're really gonna want to learn as much as possible about both media buying and affiliate marketing, because it's all related, and you're gonna be able to learn a ton and master a ton if you continue to learn and be hungry to learn for more. All right, so number 8 is I would have no focus. That's exactly what I would do if I wanted to not succeed at media buying. That might mean that, hey, I'm actually high level. I have a drop shipping business. I'm trying affiliate marketing. I have another e-com store. I also am doing couch flipping. I'm also doing vending machine side hustles. I'm doing literally everything to make money online or on the side. This is a problem though, because you're not gonna be able to have the focus that you need. As a media buyer too, sometimes myself, I can struggle with this too, where I want to start spreading myself too thin across many, many channels, be it native, Facebook, YouTube, Google, all these different channels. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. They all have proof that they can work. But the problem is that if you go after all of them at once, you're not gonna be able to succeed at any of them. So I would encourage you to pick one thing, be it YouTube ads, Facebook ads, whatever the case might be. Stick to one and make that your thing. Make that the one that you are able to successfully test, iterate, optimize, and scale. That's the biggest thing. It's really important that you have that focus because you won't be able to have that clarity if you're going after many things at once. So comment below. I would love to hear from you. What things do you think you should or should not do as someone who's media buying as an affiliate marketer? Go ahead and ask me below. I would love to help. Subscribe for more awesome content, and I'll see you next time.